So welcome to Challenge the Road. We're in the Range Rover Evoke, a car I've owned before, but I'm back in one now. This is my sister-in-law's car. She said, Richard, be careful because you haven't got the best record, but that is with Subarus, Range Rovers. I am a lot better. But anyway, I'm in it now. I've been driving it for about half an hour actually, and it's really good. And what's interesting, these cars are 10 years old and can now be bought for under £10,000. That's incredible value. But I think you just want to know, how good is this car? Now, I just can't find any faults with this car. I've been driving it. I'm going to go further with you guys now. I think it's a great car, but back then when I had a 2013, and I thought the engine was a little bit coarse. It wasn't quite maybe as sporty as this one. This is, I think, a 2017 model, so a little bit further on, but feels fantastic. This is HSE spec as well, but I can't seem to find anything. So, well, that's the end of the video. Just buy one. But no, we've got to go a bit more than that. We've got to see how this performs. So on the road driving, I like the steering, I like the brakes, I like the accelerator, I like the seats, I like the dash, I like the steering wheel. I like everything about it. There's nothing wrong with this car. So if you're in the market to buy one of these, yes, absolutely, I would buy one. But you want to know even more than that again, don't you? Now, if you were just taking this on school runs or, I don't know, supermarket, long journeys, I think it does everything really well because it doesn't feel that big on the road, which is nice. When you're going to car parking and stuff, I think it'll be easy. It's got the parking aid on this one, so it can park for you if you want. It feels very light, very roomy in here. You know what it feels like? It feels like a really good best friend. Like, it's just really nice. And if you were ringing them for anything, they'd come round and have a cup of tea with you. This is what it feels like. It's just a warming car. It just makes you feel good. Handling, I mean, I'm only going slowly around the bends and stuff, but it feels great. It doesn't feel like it needs to be hustled along. I'm just going along really nice. And if you said now just carry on to Devon, I'd go to Devon. Let's have a look at the tech side now. I'm going to go through some of the buttons and bits in here. Okay, so inside, everything is where it should be, which I know sounds crazy, but most cars are terrible at that. Volume button here, changing the stereo channels here, telephone here, cruise control here. Everything is in the right place and it feels nice. Now, I had the new Range Rover, the hybrid, you've probably seen that video. The buttons are better in this, much better. I like the dash. I like the way it gives me the miles per hour speed limit of the road, but it's still got analog dials either side. I think that's really nice. Heated seats, need that. But there's one feature on this. I remember having a Ford Focus back in the day, and the best feature on that, heated windscreen. I love a heated windscreen. If it had heated steering wheel, I'd be even happier, but I like to be warm, especially in the winter. But also, I don't want to be going out and putting the hot water on the windscreen. It's going to do it in like a minute. Reversing aid we spoke about, but also it's got the 360 camera on this. I love that option. When you're parking, I tell you, if you've never used one, you'll use it all the time. I like the toggle down here. Now, it's faster than on my Range Rover I had, and it's easier to use. We just went out, done a few shots backwards and forwards up the road, and I'm doing like, where I do a 3-point turn, I'm just doing a 2-point turn. It's got a very nice lock. It's very easy. I don't know, I just can't recommend it enough. It's just really easy car. And that's why I thought I'd go further with you guys, just to see, can I find anything wrong with this car? But I just can't at the moment. The other thing with Range Rover, you've got all these modes: snow, ice, halfway. I won't do that today. But you could take this car anywhere. You've got Range Rover's renowned 4-wheel drive system. I need to get onto the spec of this car because this is the diesel. It's a 2.2. They do a 2 litre. I think they even do a 1.5 for less CO2. The performance seems fine. I was actually looking up ECU changes for the car to see if you can get more power, and you can, but at the moment I'm not feeling I need that. Let's go on to the looks. Right, so let's go through the looks of this car. Now, I think it looks amazing. It doesn't look 10 years old. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks 10 years old? I still think it could come out now and it looks fantastic. I know they've done a few more updates to it, but sometimes the originals are the best. And I think that the original car still looks really, really good. Imagining a bit of like an R8 or something, that they updated it, but it was still really good as the original car. I like the back lights on there, quite small, almost a bit like, I always thought it's a bit like a transformer. I don't know if you think that, like when it's, you know, it looks like that, like it's going to come up, but it's a really, really, really good design, and I can see why they haven't bothered to overly update it. I think they're just sort of mild updates. The interior design is really nice. I really like the seats. I'm really comfortable. There's not many seats I get in and think, this is just really comfortable. I haven't really adjusted it very much. It just feels really good. The design on the alloys, I've always thought they're really nice on Evoke, and Range Rovers in general. I always feel like they have some of the best designs. And this one with the 20s or 21s, whatever you've got on there, looks great. But I wouldn't be worried about having ones with 18 or 19 inch rims, because obviously you get an even better ride. And that puts me onto the ride here, because we were driving along earlier and I was with someone, with Sam, and we were just chatting, and I said, you know what, it feels like a Rolls Royce ride. And he said, oh, I'm thinking just the same, because it feels a little bit floaty, but you can still feel that contact with the road. So it still feels like really good, and it just seems to ride everything in front of it lovely. Now, the Rolls Royce rounds off the bumps more, but this is really, really top quality, absolutely as good as you can get. I mean, and these are sort of big lumps in the road. The roads now are just horrendous in England. It's the worst place for roads. So the ride is really good. The looks are fantastic. Then we've got to think about a conclusion. Like, so, you know, my skill is buying cars at the low depreciation curve, and then they hopefully go up. Or if it's a day-to-day car, I'd try and sort of break even after 1 or 2 years, which I've been doing now for a long time. So for you guys thinking out there, what do you want to buy? I would be getting in something like this. If you look at the cost of the new car is, say, 60,000 with a hybrid, you're probably going to save like 5p using electric anyway, because they're going to tax the hell out of you at some point. So would you prefer to be in like a diesel or a petrol version of this? I've never driven the petrol version. I think there's a 2.2 240 horsepower, but I've never driven it. But the diesel's fine. I think the petrol would be good too. You're going to have like 40,000 in change. I mean, there is some on there for sale at like 6,000, 6,500. That's crazy. I mean, a high spec newer model like this one, this is probably, I think, a 2017-18 build, would be a bit more in the sort of mid-20s, and some of them I've seen, like I think I saw a 2017 plate and it was like 17,000, 16,000. So it's a lot of car and it does a lot of things, and I've been driving it quite a long time. I think I said earlier I've been driving it half an hour. I've been driving it longer now because I shot this first and I thought, no, I really like this, I'm going to go a bit further. So I've been driving about 2 hours now, just driving round, because it's just so comfortable and I'm just really enjoying it. Miles per gallon, another interesting thing I haven't checked on here, but I know that as a car, I think it was around 45 to 50. That's very good. And I know when we had it in real world, it was about 35, 37. So that's pretty good. And if you're going on longer, ours are all short journeys, but if you're going on longer journeys, you're going to get even more. I spoke a bit before about its highly tunable car as well. So I think it's a buy. I think I would have one of these, and I think it suits a broad range of people as well. I think if you were, you know, young, it's almost like a free spirit vehicle, and you want to put the seats down and put a surfboard or whatever, you could do that. You could go on the beach. It's 4-wheel drive. You can go anywhere. It's got great lights, the xenons at night. If you're using it for the school run, it's just a lovely size, easy. You've got the parking aid, you've got the 360 camera on this version. If you're a bit older and you want a car like this, then I think it's just so easy. The steering is just right. I mean, you imagine how many cars I've driven and I'm trying to pick holes in this car and I can't really find any, apart from the only thing I would say is it doesn't feel overly sporty, but that doesn't really worry me either. Not worried about that. I think it's fine. It's going to do the job. It's going to do what I want it to do. It's just going to cruise along, be really, really nice to drive. So I hope that helps. And if you're looking at Evoke, absolutely you should buy one. And I think that this winter is going to be like the best time to buy these cars. And some future videos I've got planned around, you know, hybrid, electric. Them sales aren't going well. They're not going very well at all. Electric cars are being held up. The production's pretty bad, even on hybrid. People aren't buying them. I think you're going to find people want to come into this. They don't want to spend massive amounts of money on a new car that only gives them limited range or compromises their lifestyle, which it does. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to get as many subscribers as we can, and if you can help and share, that really helps us. And I'll see you again soon.